All right, traders, what's going on? I've been doing some analysis and I've noticed some really interesting observations. So in this video, what I'm going to be doing is deep diving into my higher time frame targets to the upside and also to the downside, because what I've noticed on the charts right now could be very interesting. If we just start off from a complete blank chart on the total market cap chart, what we can see is over the last 2 months, we've tried to create a break of market structure. And as we attempted it twice, we closed below. That's one sign for us to say that price will come to the downside. We'll go into the targets in that in a second. However, one thing that I've noticed is if I just draw in my fib from the complete low to the swing high to the 78.6% rejection, which is an OTE level, what you can notice is we have struck the area 1, 2, 3 times over the last 2 months. So in July and also in August, we attempted to close above but failed and come back below. Now, this is why this month's close in September is very, very important, because if we close bullish and above this key level down here, this could give us an opportunity in the short term to the upside. And one of the targets that I'm looking at is around 4.79, or let's just call it 4.8 trillion. So we could potentially get that move to the upside. However, that is likely going to be the drive of the alts moving to the upside, Ethereum and all the altcoins. And we will get a push down on BTC and Bitcoin dominance. But what I'm still expecting is a move to the downside after we get the move to the upside. And when we get the move to the downside, this will recollaborate BTC, alts, all coins. And when we get the pull to the downside, people would be expecting this move to the upside being the finale of the alt season. However, what they don't know is that this move to the upside, essentially we're having an altcoin catch up, and then we'll have the move down, and then we'll get the bigger move up. So if we just go into the weekly time frame, let me show you exactly what I'm seeing right now. So on the weekly time frame, we can see congestion around this area. Okay, I'll remove that. We've got this break of market structure down here, and we've just been consolidating within this region down here. So what I'm thinking in the short term, like I said, in the short term, what we could expect is for price to come to the upside. And what can also add to that confluence are two things. Number one, so you can see I've got this dealing range on the daily time frame from this swing low to this swing high. We tapped into the discount side of the dealing range. We've tapped into this order block down here and rejected from it. We've got an order block down here, which we haven't tapped into yet. But this may be enough for us to now move to the upside. And the reason I'm saying that is because number one, we've got the swing high to the swing low down here. We've completed the 61.8 and the 78.6 level, which is 4 trillion to, let's just call it 4.505 trillion. We've completed this part of the cycle. We've come down. Of course, I want price to get to this level at 3.5 trillion, but there's a short-term move to the upside. And the reason I say that is because of the opposing Fibonacci to the upside. Let's just remove this one. We've had a rejection of the 61.8, which is a 3.8 trillion level. 1, 2, 3 taps into this region and a rejection above. So the daily and the weekly time frame is very, very vital at this point. So therefore, we could get a move to the upside, taking out this liquidity and coming into the regions I said to you before. So that's the move to the upside, but there is always a reason for us to think that price can come to the downside. And the reason is because we have mass liquidity around these areas. We've got a market maker sell model, which is not completed. Here's the buy side of the curve. Here's the sell side of the curve. Of course, on the opposing side, what you can see is a market maker buy model, sell side, buy side, original consolidation down here. So if we do continue moving down from here, depending on how the weekly and the monthly closes, what we can expect is for price to come lower into my regions of 3.74 trillion and also around this region at 3.65 trillion. If we get that move to the downside, this could be the buying opportunity for us on our altcoins. And I'll go into that in a second. Now, if we break below this, we've got these regions here, 3.58 to 3.38. There is an opportunity for price to go even lower than this at, let's just call it 3 trillion. The other thing that we can see is if I just draw in from this swing to this swing point, at this point down here, this is exactly the region I'm looking at, 3.58. This would be where the mid range of this dealing range is. So ideally, we want to see price come into this region. Okay, so that's the total market cap chart. Before I go into BTC, I want to say thank you for supporting the channel. It's been about a month and a half since I've started to upload my analysis based on the ICT strategy. And I just want to say thank you for supporting. And if you can, drop a like, drop a share, and subscribe to the channel. Trader Alchemist on all platforms. And you can also find me on X. All right, let's get back into it. So now moving on to BTC. So let's start off with the weekly on BTC. So what we can see on BTC is we've had a rejection on the weekly time frame of the 61.8. We were expecting a pullback and we got that. We were expecting price to come into the regions of 100K. I'm still expecting that. However, like I said to you, there's a possibility for price to move to the upside even further. We have quite a lot of liquidity resting above around 120K. 119 to 120K is where we're looking. When we get to this region, like I said to you, I'm going to be looking for a short, and that short's going to be a swing short at least to this region here, 107K, if not to 100K. So on BTC on the weekly time frame, not much to show, but let's go on the daily and I'll tell you exactly what I'm looking at. And this is why I think price is going to push to the upside. We've had an order block rejection. We've come into this side of the dealing range, which is the discount side. We've also rejected from the 61.8. We've rejected from the 61.8 down here and also down here. Now that we're playing between these two levels, I'm expecting price to come to the upside deeper into this OTE level around 119 to 120K. Once we get that region, we'll come to the downside. We'll take the shorts, like I said. Of course, the possibility of us just bouncing up from here, coming into this fair value gap, and also rejecting, let's remove this. Let's remove that. Also rejecting the OTE level down here. If price spikes up into this region, this is what I'm expecting around this region. So this could be a fake bounce coming back up, create another swing point, tap into these OTE levels down here, also this fair value gap, and then we'll drop lower. So those are the scenarios on BTC. Now let's see where Ethereum is. Let's go on the daily time frame. If I put in a fib from here to here, and if I put in another fib from here to here. All right, let's just remove that one temporarily. Those are my target levels. First things first, we've come into 61.8 around 4,669 and rejected from it. We haven't yet tapped into this higher level down here, which is 4,795. We do expect price to come into this region and move much higher than that. I've told you previously what my targets are on the short term on Ethereum. I'm looking at around 5,200. Now, the fact that we've created a double bottom, we've come at least about 30 to 40 pips away from this low down here, gives me more of a reason to believe that price is going to come back to this region down here. My targets on Ethereum to the downside all depends on, and this goes with BTC and all other coins, all depends on what the total market cap chart is doing. Because if we get a deeper push to the downside on the total market cap chart, we could possibly get a deeper push into the regions of around 3,400 on Ethereum. Of course, the short-term target, at least, I want to see 4,000 met. Like I said to you, on some of the coins that I'm looking at, go check out my previous videos. The video that I've given you on the 10x your alts in October, we were just about 40 pips away from this, from buying. So go and check out that video, because that gives you your signals of when to buy and what to buy. Now, because we've not tapped into the 78.6, because we've also got a double bottom down here, we're kind of in a predicament. And again, it depends on what the total market cap chart is doing. But what I'd ideally like to see, based on what I've told you at the beginning, is a push to the upside, price come further up. Let me put in this fib from here to here, and price come at least within these regions down here. Now, when we get that move up, we'll probably get an all-time high in total market cap chart. We'll probably get BTC hitting around 120K, if not higher. And this is where I'm then going to be looking to the downside, where we would then get the bigger move to the downside. And this is likely going to happen over the next 1 to 2 months. So this scenario, when we come to the downside, taking out these areas down here, all depends on what the total market cap chart is doing and where our altcoins are at. Because if our altcoins are almost at all-time low, this is your signal to buy. Okay, so to summarize, possibility to move to the upside. We can move to the downside from here. If that happens, that's even better, because it just gives us a better buying opportunity earlier and for us to then move to the upside. If you enjoyed this video, as you already know, I trade ICT strategy. I trade it based on crypto and it's working fantastic. I leverage trade, I spot buy based on the ICT strategy. So if you enjoy these types of videos, go smash that like button, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one.